Hey, it's Patrick, and today I'm going to show you how to install the AltRider Clutch Arm Extension for a KTM 790 or 890. We're doing it on old Sally the Rally here, which is an 890, but the installation is going to be the same for all the KTM 790 and 890 models. Now, why would you want to do this? Well, quite frankly, just for that fatigue you get in your arm from clutching the bike. If you're in an off-road situation a lot, you could be using that clutch and can get very, very tiring. This is going to give us a mechanical advantage down at the clutch, basically giving it a longer throw, making a really easy clutch pull. All the tools we're going to use today we'll put in the description below. They're all going to be basic hand tools. We're even doing it on the floor here. You can do just the same thing in your garage. First thing we're going to need is a 12mm wrench. We're going to drop down here to the top of the clutch and get started. We're going to take our 12mm and we're going to break both of these jam nuts loose that hold tension on our clutch cable. So we're going to want to put as much slack as we can in there. We get all that slack in there. We're going to go up to the handlebar and we're going to run our adjusters down so it puts as much slack as we can in this cable before we come down here to start removing our arm. So now we're going to need a T30. We're going to take the 2 bolts out of our bracket that's holding our cable. We're going to reuse those bolts, so keep a hold of them. Once we get that loose, we should be able to slip this cable out of the little clip here on the arm. So now we need to get our bracket off. If you see, there's a little slot in this bracket. We're just going to push this out to the end and force our cable through there. Now we'll go get our new cable guide and get it installed on the bike. So now we're going to install the new cable guide, and it's going to install over the cable the same way through that slot. But you can see there's a slot up here, as the old one just had 2 holes. This slot is going to go forward. We're going to reuse our 2 Torx that we took out of there. When you install this, we're just going to kind of snug them down. What this slot is for is adjustment. So when we get our arm on there, we want to make sure the cable is going to be coming through straight. This is going to give us adjustment to orientate the cable so it's coming through nice and straight. You don't want this angled, causing wear on the cable. So that slot gives us an adjustment to keep the cable straight. So we're just going to slip our cable back through there, drop our 2 screws in. We're not going to tighten them up completely though. So now we need to take our stock arm off. Same T30. There's a slot in the top of this. If you need to hold that, a flat blade screwdriver will fit in there, and you can get your T30 on there if you need to hold it still. A flat blade screwdriver works best. So this is a stock arm here. This is the new AltRider arm. You can see this is much longer. That's what gives you that mechanical advantage and gives it more torque on the arm to make it easier. So AltRider claims all the way out here is 33% lighter. This is 15% lighter, and this would be the stock location. We're probably going to set ours up in the middle to try it first, but we need to attach this little piece here to our new arm. It comes with that piece. We just need to make sure the slot is facing in towards the bike. So for ours, here's our slot. We're going to face it in towards the bike. We're going to drop our pin through. After you drop the pin through, it comes with a cotter pin. We're going to take this cotter pin, we're going to slide it through the hole, and then bend it around there. The cotter pin really doesn't have any pressure on it. It's just holding the pin that does have the pressure on it in there. All right, now we're going to go back over to the bike. Don't forget, we're going to reuse that screw from the old arm. We're going to take this over the bike and install it. Now we need to put our arm on. We're going to slip this end over our cable, and then we're going to slip this down onto the shaft that goes into the clutch. And then we're going to have to make some adjustments. So this should slip over real easy, just like that. Slip over our cable. Then we're going to drop this down on here. So at this point, we need to make a little bit of a cable adjustment. I like to set this adjuster at least in the middle, if not favoring it a little bit tight. Also, if you need to, go up at the bar and tighten that up. I'm just going to tighten up ours right here, set this adjustment. Now, this is a pretty important part. You need to take a screwdriver and go counterclockwise to press this clutch puller up against the spring pressure, and then pull your arm back. Now, you want to make sure you leave a gap so it doesn't hit the tank. To get that gap now, you'll have to adjust here to move the cable, give your cable more room to go back. I kind of like our gap there, so I'm going to go counterclockwise, hold pressure against those springs. This is kind of tough, and then you need to tighten this T30 up here at the same time. So now we can make our final adjustment right here on the cable. At this point, remember we have this slot here. We need to make sure that this is pointed pretty directly at our arm. Ours is pointed pretty good. That's why they give you that slot so you can move this back and forth. You don't want this pointed that way or too far this way because that cable will rub. I like ours where it's at, so I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these down. So now we need to go up to our handlebar and make our final adjustment on our clutch lever. So now we just make our final adjustment, take whatever slack you want out of your cable, and make sure you leave yourself just a little bit of a gap there. You don't want any pressure on your clutch lever. All in all, it should probably take you maybe 30, 45 minutes in your garage with hand tools. You don't even need a lift. I will say it's very important, the shaft that goes down on the clutch lever, to get that clocked over counterclockwise, get pressure on those clutch springs, otherwise it's really gonna affect your clutch cable adjustment. If you're looking for more information on this, go ahead and click that info tab on your desktop or mobile device. That'll take you to the product detail page where you can read other riders' reviews and more specs about this product. If you're still looking for more information, feel free to reach out to our customer service team. They would love to talk to you about what works best for you, your motorcycle, and your budget. I am Patrick. Thank you for watching. Now go work on those motorcycles.